Okay, so where were we? So we got everything kind of balanced out, straightened out, sort of. It all seems to be working now. How are we doing on the ship? Ship has got a bunch of stuff in it. We need to get rid of stuff. Scrap iron on the ship and in the storage. We're working on that, right? Let us check something here. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so we want to prioritize scrap iron for right now, so that we can get that emptied out and get the stuff emptied out of the ship. Looks like everything here is all full, which is not a bad thing because now we have it all. All right, so I think it is time for us to start looking at. We've got all the basics done. We want to start looking at ramping up production because the we had the issue with the maintenance and things like that, and things weren't getting enough. Now that the warehouses are all full now, but soon enough we're going to use that stuff up. So we want to go ahead and get production ramped up while we wait on our research, which means we need to ramp up smelting. So we've got the basic idea behind smelting down, right? So now what I'm going to go ahead and do, and since we've got that, is we're just going to do it through blueprints now. So upgradable smelters. Now there's a Mark 1 and a Mark 2. And if we read what the description says, on the Mark 2, it's replacing, it's adding limestone and it's replacing iron ore with crushed iron ore. Well, we don't have crushed iron ore yet. We don't have the ability to do crushed iron ore yet, and we don't have limestone yet. Limestone, turn the rest of this stuff off so we can find it easily. Limestone on this map is way over there on our side of the river, right? I mean, there's the other side of the river with the pyramid and what have you. But we've got some there, and we've got a bunch on this mountain range. Okay, it's the next mountain range up from our copper. All right, so we got a ton of limestone there. But to get to that, we're going to have to come up here to mine it, and I think we can do that. So let's do something here. I'm going to see if I can get the tree guys to come up here. We're gonna erase all the trees, right? And then we're going to add another tree warehouse and add another warehouse for trees. And we're going to tell that we want trees and keep full. This one's not keep full, but this one's keep full, so it'll keep filling this up, and then that'll move that into that, so it'll fill both of them. So we got that going, right? I know we couldn't store blah blah blah. I don't care. All right, so that should eliminate the ability for the tree guy, the tree cutter to cut. If we go over here and I tell it cut trees here, we'll see if he can get up there. If he can get up there, which he should be able to get up this slope, even though we're digging over here, I think he'll be able to get up this slope. And if he can get up this slope and cut these trees, then we can get up that slope and mine that limestone. But again, we don't have the ability yet to crush ore. Now, if we look at this, And we go over here. I think it falls under, where was it? There's a higher level smelting or processing that when we get to there is where we can crush stone. Well, we can crush ore. And wasn't steel smelting. Table sulfur processing cutter generator. Trying to find which one it was. But it's buried up here somewhere. Ah, here it is. So advanced smelting, we go down here, will give us the ability to crush iron ore and crush copper ore. So we're a ways away from that. We're here. Right? But we can now get limestone, which we're going to need for concrete, if we can get up here with the tree cutter, which remains to be seen. Where is the tree cutter guy? All right, let's do this. Let's find the tree cutter. All right, so they are driving up there. So it looks like he can find a path up there, which means he should be able to find a path down. So we can get up here and we can start mining this limestone. So we'll let him cut these trees. That'll give us a place to set up the mining stuff for the limestone. All right, now go back to this blueprint. We're going to pause this, and I can put down both of these blueprints. Put them down here side by side. Here's the Mark 1, here's the Mark 2. Let's take a look at what the differences are. It's an upgraded smelter, I think, right? So that it'll take the crushed stuff. But everything else, input-wise, looks to be the same. So if that is going into the same locations, the only thing that's going to be different is what's going to be here. We could go ahead and do the Mark II and just set it up for regular ore first, because what's added is a third belt. But I think everything else is pretty much the same. It's just a recipe change and an additional belt, which is going to feed in the limestone and what have you. So I think we can go ahead and put in the Mark IIs, and then when we get the stuff we need, then we can worry about it. So, is there a way to select? Can you select, or do I have to go through and delete all of this individually? All right, there we go. So that answers that question. So let's get rid of this one as well, because we actually don't want it there. So now, where are we going to put it? Let me see. I think we're going to put it like here, facing downward for the iron, just right next to the one we've already got. So let's do that. We'll do iron Mark II. And the way this is set up, it's set up with belts so that all of the stuff comes in from bins. Now, the question is, do I want to flip this and have the input bins come in on this side? It's going to put them between that and that. Am I going to have enough room? Or do I want to flip it and make the trucks go a little bit further from the iron mine? And I think I don't have a problem with the trucks going a little further from the iron mine. If we put it down here and we line it up, say on that square, right? So then we're going to have iron come in on one, coal come in on one, right? It'll be iron. So bottom belt will be iron ore. Second belt will be coal. Top belt will be slag coming out. And then the third belt will be limestone, which we'll add later. So this one does not give us the ability to process scrap iron. It's not set up for scrap iron, but that's okay, because we can make this our sole processor of scrap iron, and all the scrap iron can just go here, and we can leave that running. I think that'll work. So we're going to need a bin for coal, a bin for limestone, and a bin for iron ore. And then over here we're going to need a bin for why can't I think? Words are hard sometimes, guys. Slag. Why did that word just suddenly leave my brain and go away and just, I don't know. All right, so we're going to do loose storage on this side for slag, or we could run it all the way over to the, no, we'll do it right here. We'll just put it right here. So that's going to be slag. And then over here, we're going to want loose storage for iron, coal, and eventually limestone. Right? And the blueprint said bottom belt is ore. All right, so this is going to be ore, iron ore, you know what? We're going to get rid of them on this side. And I'll tell you why. I want it coming in from this side, because that way they're not having to go around to get to the iron ore or anything else. So we'll go iron ore, coal, limestone, right? And then we're going to go belts And we're going to go U-shaped conveyor belt to the bottom one is iron ore. How much of a slope do we need to be able to do just from one level to the next? If we go height 1 to there, right? And we do here to there. Now we got to have a all right. How far does it have to go from there to there? Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So if we go 1 space between, will 1 space between do us? Let's see. U-shaped here to there, right? Yes. Okay. So then we go, oops, 1 space between, and we should be able to go from here to there. Right? Yeah. So then this will be iron ore, keep full. This will be coal, keep full. And this will be limestone, keep full. And then eventually we'll have to change these ones to crushed iron ore. So they come in each of these levels, which saves space. And then they come down into the machines. And then the flag comes back out and goes to the top belt. Pretty simple. And then it comes around and goes into 2 plate makers on either side. And then those go into the warehouse. Awesome. And we just have to space them enough to, okay, I understand that one well enough. I'm using the blueprints, but I want to understand the blueprints. So if something goes wrong, I can potentially fix it, right? So then that means this is going to go away for right this second, because we have to come from that down to the ground. Which is there. Right? And then We can do it behind it like that, I guess. So let's do this. Let's take that one away. And then U-shaped conveyor. From there, we could have done it closer then. Looks like we could have done it closer. U-shaped from the top. There. That look like that works? That look like that works. So that's going to give us all of our stuff in that we need. And then that'll give us iron out, right? And then we can suck it off of here to wherever we need to take it to. That didn't sound right. We can pull it from the warehouse to wherever we need to. So then we'll be able to change this recipe to scrap only. We'll keep this one here, and it'll keep making this stuff, but it'll be scrap only making this stuff. And then this one will be making our iron. All right, so there we go. We can let it go and let that build it. So there's that one. Now let's look at the blueprint for copper. Bottom belt is copper, middle belt is coal, top belt is slag. Next tier, sand added on the third belt, and old copper felt swapped to crushed copper ore. So it's same thing, basically. And with the exception of having to wash, it's the same blueprint. So we could go down here, flip that around, something in the way. I know there's trees. And we could sit this here. Now, the majority of our inputs with this are on that side, so I want to swap the. Can either move it back some so that we have room for the bins, or I can flip sides. I think we're just going to move it back some. Where does the water come in? The water comes in on the right hand side. So I think we're just going to flip. I think we're just going to back it up some. And then we can cut trees from there. We'll just tell the tree cutter to come over and cut trees. Farm could not store all the potatoes. Blast furnace has no recipe. That I'm not worried about either of those right now. Put that down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tell this dude to stop cutting these trees. And I want him to come over here and make me some room. I need room. So he needs to come down here and cut these trees. And I know he can get there. So how far away did I have to put this? 1, 2, 6. All right. So, one, two, three, four, five, six. Oops, we had to go this way. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? And that was U-shaped belt from the top all right, we got to go over one more. Is that the deal? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe that was where it needs to be. So it was in the right spot to begin with. There. Why is it not going? There we go, because I didn't double click. And then we need how much spacing between these did I do? One, two. All right, it was 1, 2, 3 connection. So, output 1, 2, 3 connection. One, 2, 3 connection, right? 1, 2, 3, and then the connection, and then one space, and one space. Right? Right. Okay. So then it was U-shaped channel. Here to here. Here to here. Here to here. So really, I could have gotten away with putting those within one, right next to each other, because I could have gone to the outside connector. Did I go to the outside connector on these ones, or the inside connector? I went to the inside connector. Yeah, I could have gone one closer on all of these, and I didn't do it. That's okay. I'm not gonna lose sleep over that. We got the whole island. So we're going to let that build all of that before I change these recipes. Nanocaster, no recipe. Blast furnace, no recipe. I don't care. That does not matter right now. We're not running them. We want See when things cut down. And we'll start with the stuff right next to the machine. That'll get that stuff out of the way. All right. So that is both of our smelters, right? And I could go back and move these closer, but I'm not going to. To hell with it. And then we're going to do copper. Keep full. Coal. Keep full. Limestone. No, it's not limestone for this one. It is sand. Almost screwed up. Sand. Keep full. And then this is going to be slag. Keep empty. And this one will be slag. Keep empty. That way, it'll try and empty it if it's got a place to put it. So that ended up being like 2.5 in width and 2.5 in width. So yeah, that works. Farm cannot store. I don't care. So the only other thing we need to hook up to this one is water, right? That's going to be our water input for our washing stuff. Right now, so I don't want to pull from groundwater if I don't have to. I mean, there's water right there, but I don't know that I want to pull from the groundwater if I don't have to. And I definitely don't want to build over top of any kind of deposits other than the water, because the water is just pumped out. But any of these mineral deposits, I don't want to build on top of. So what I'm thinking is, for right now, I think we're going to build some rainwater harvesters. And we want to set that to pause, right? Set that to pause. And then we're going to copy this. Hold Shift, click, and click. And then we're going to reverse it. Give ourselves one space. Shift, click, click, click. And then storage, fluid storage. In. And then pipe here to here. To here. To there. Right? So then they can start filling this tank up. And now we're going to unpause all of that. because then we're not drawing from our water. We're drawing from a tank. We can always come in and put a pump in later. Okay, we're going to run out of trees here in a second. I'm going to send you guys back over here to finish what you were doing over here, because I want room to get that done. Now, we're also going to need sand. Are there any trees or anything in the way of the sand? No, there's not trees and stuff in the way of the sand. Okay, good. So, got that, got that. How we doing on research? All right. We're going to pull this one off, add terrain leveling, and then put the lab back, so that we'll be done all of that stuff. Basically, we'll kick in the lab stuff. We'll be at lab 2 afterwards, and we'll be able to do all of that stuff. All right. So that seems to all be. Why is that not built yet? What's it waiting on? It is waiting on construction parts. Did we use up all of our construction parts, and why don't we have more? Bricks. The bricks is going to be the next problem we're going to have to solve. In the meantime, let's go buy some bricks. All right, there. So we're going to have to solve the brick problem next. We're going to have to make a brick factory that's more than just this, because we're just not having enough bricks. All right, so and then we'll be able to go in here and set this to iron ore, and those will kick out iron plate. And we're just going to copy settings from here and paste them there, so that will be iron ore. Then we just got to set that one up once that's done. And then down here, this is going to be copper plate, and it's going to be copper plate, and then this is going to be automatically that, and then this is going to be copper, and this is going to be iron, and how are we doing on food? We got 33 months of food. We're good to go on food. I don't care that we're not storing it. I know that with the blast furnaces or not, blah blah blah. All right, we'll turn the speed up. So the next thing we got to work on is bricks. And getting enough bricks. Bricks is basically just the factory, coal, and water. So we can increase this. Oh, and that's stone, is it? Excuse me, that's rock. Yeah, we're gonna store the rock for now, I think. Well, maybe not. I mean, looks like it's building this out now. And I think what we're going to do, dump designation, slope, and we're going to go from here to there. And we're going to go Q. Right? Now let's look. Yeah, so that should come out here at 3 and then slope down to 2. So all of that should be able to be, whatever should be able to be dumped. What are you carrying? Trash. All right. This will be our trash jetty for now. So looks like that's doing okay. Looks like this guy is doing what he's got to do. There's no place to put the stuff for right now. And then as soon as these are built, that'll start getting filled up. As soon as that is built. Meanwhile, there's that. So what we need to deal with is bricks. And it looks like now we've got dirt sort of in hand. It's just a matter of increasing our ability to make bricks. We're not 1440 water we're low on now. All right. So I guess what we're going to end up doing let's cut back on this to here. That'll give us enough working room to store stuff and what have you. All right. And then we're going to get him back over here. And we're going to deforest this area. And I'm sure we're going to need, what did we add? Housing 2. Forest control tower, retaining walls. Retaining walls keep the hills from falling in on you because all this loose material will avalanche. Then we got decorations. And then surfaces, so we can put down like streets. We're going to do another storage unit here. Trees as well. Wood, keep full. That one we don't care if it keeps it full because now it's going to go into this one. All right, there we go. Because we're gonna have to build bricks. We're gonna have to build up our brick making. Because we need bricks for all of this. We need building materials. We need construction. All right. Trade. We're out of what? We're out of wood. Okay. That's fine. All right. And then this guy is repaired. He's not unloaded though. Why is he not unloaded? 220 cement. Let's do this temporarily. Let's force this. let's go ahead and put down warehouse, cement, keep full. I want the ship empty. All right, let me do something here. I'm gonna prioritize this construction to get it done. I'm going to turn that there, and as soon as this gets built, we'll turn that to empty. I want that stuff over here. How much more do we need? 20 more construction parts. Bricks is going to be the issue. So yeah, we're going to have to build bricks. We're going to have to build a brick supply. The dirt part of it is keeping up. It looks like it's the water part of it and the making part of it. So we may have to tap into our water supply for the bricks. So we'll make a larger, we're going to do probably 3 factories. We're going to, you know what? Let's not do that. We are going to pull this down, I think, and make ourselves a bunch of bricks. All right, we're going to do 3. Thinking doing them in that area there. Yeah, we'll clear these trees, and then we're going to do our bricks in that area. You know what? These ones don't need to go away for now. These ones do. That'll give us enough room to do that. Let me assign you another truck, because you're sitting here waiting. They have to go so far. We're going to do 2 trucks. And we're going to come over here and build 2 more trucks. All right, that's done. Empty. All right. No more. And then once it processes whatever's left and it switches over to scrap, we'll turn off the iron. In fact, if we turn off the iron, because it's only got 5 in there, it's never going to do it. And then we dump that, those resources will go out and get put away. That'll get put in there, and then we can go iron ore, iron plates. All right, so that can start producing our iron, and that can start getting filled up. right? That's the last of the iron out of here. Now it'll just be, this will be our scrap metal iron processor. We're going to leave the buildings because we need the stuff that's in here. Why is this paused? Unpause that. Not enough workers. Oh, I bet I know where they are. Unload the crew. Until that thing empties, there's no sense putting the crew to work. Blast furnace has no recipes. Well, you're not all built yet. Until you're all built, I'm not giving you something to do. But now here's what's going to end up happening is now they're going to have to truck that over for that. Okay. Okay. I think I was premature on this. I'll add that back. Let that do iron for now. I was premature on emptying this because we're still going to need this stuff. So keep full. We're not going to keep full this one. We'll prioritize this one because we need the construction parts. And then so we'll up our brick production, and then we're going to up this production. I think we're going to do that in the next episode because we got to wait for this guy to get done this. Do we have to keep? No, we don't have to keep full on that. We can let that empty itself out. Now this is, are these guys doing what they got to do here? Yeah, these guys look to be doing what they got to do. Are you guys putting dirt over here? Well, because you got no place else to put the dirt. Because this is, well, no. I don't know if there's a way, I know there is with like advanced logistics, I think, to tell these guys only mine dirt when this needs dirt. But I don't know if there's a way to do that. So we'll leave it run for right now. There's a big island. We can flatten the island out eventually. All right. How are we doing on area? We're good here. We're good there. We're good there. We're good there. So we're going to need to start limestone, and we're going to need to start sand. I think sand we're going to get from over here. Sand is going to be a pain in the ass because collapses. What level is this? 8. 2. Well, if we do say 6 on this whole thing, right? It'll keep us in sand for a while. Is there sand closer to this? There's sand over here. What height is this? 11. So we can do the same thing here. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we can mine this sand down to feed the copper when we get to that point. We don't need to do that yet. We don't need to do the limestone yet. We do need to do the limestone for cement. We are going to start making cement. So we'll get this area cleared. We'll do bricks. We'll get this finished up. We'll make a bigger process for this stuff. The next episode, we're going to make brick. We're going to set up bricks. We're going to set up a bigger process for this, okay? And this should finish itself out. Then after that, we'll do limestone so that we can make cement. That probably won't be next episode. It's probably going to take us 2 episodes to do the bricks. We got to let this clear out. All right, guys. So I'm going to let this clear for a little bit and finish getting that cleared out so we can do the bricks in this area. Yeah, because we got a lot we got to clear out here. And then when that's done, I will come back, and by then hopefully some of this will be built and what have you, and we can move on from there. All right, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.